Vicky, and I've just got to tell you, this will be the fourth take for this one. I was either forgetting things that were important, or I didn't have my glasses on to read God's word, and I was flubbing that up, and I said, that's it. I'm going to wear glasses while I read, and then I'll take them off because I know there's a glare, okay? So today I've got a really cool story to tell, how God used a 5-pound chihuahua. And you're going to think this is weird right off the top, but trust me, hang on there. All right, so I'm going to read from Leviticus 23. It's going to start at verse 39. And I am in the NLT version, okay? Here we go. Remember that this 7-day festival to the Lord, the festival of shelters or Sukkot, tabernacles, begins on the 15th day of the appointed month after you have harvested all the produce of the land. The first day and the 8th day of the festival will be days of complete rest. On the first day, gather branches from magnificent trees like palm trees, and then the willow trees by the streams. Then celebrate with joy before the Lord your God for 7 days. You must observe this festival to the Lord for 7 days every year. This is a permanent law for you, and it must be observed in the appointed month from generation to generation. Okay. Now, we got to talk here. Okay, I know I have a lot of gray hair, thinning. Hey, listen, I'm a kite. It happens. Now I got coffee. Hang on. I got coffee. Now I gotta put the Bible down. Okay, I'm back with you. Are we here? Oh, Lord have mercy. He does. He protects me. Okay, here is the story. Okay, I think it just took coffee and glasses. The second time I got to go to Israel, remember we stayed for 90 days, 3 months. That's as long as you can stay without a work visa. But I had a little 5-pound chihuahua, and she was getting up there in years, but we were not going to leave her behind. She was going. So we flew to Israel. Now, there's a lot of hoops you got to go through, both on our side and on their side. She passed them with flying colors. All right? I didn't quite think a few things through over there with the dog. First off, we had no idea till we got to their local vet that has to check off on things, that they really don't have small dogs. And I do remember seeing large dogs. I remember that on our last trip. And even the folks that did the Shabbat service, they had a couple large dogs. But I didn't know they didn't have small dogs. Okay? But even everybody at the veterinarian office loved to play with Nugget. So we learned that. We got settled in our apartment. And I needed to take her out to use the restroom. Okay, first thing I didn't think through is they really don't have grass. Yes, they have parks, but we weren't near one. And so she had to get used to stone and rocks and all that, but she did. But the very first day I take her out on her leash, take her outside. We're on the sidewalk, and here comes some older Jewish ladies. They were carrying bags. Looks like they came from the market. And they saw me, they did this number, and they said in Hebrew something very powerful at me. I mean, they didn't like something about me. And I'm thinking, it's my first day here. What have I done wrong? I mean, even past me, they wouldn't even look my way when they were walking past. I thought, what have I done? Or there was some kids playing, because they just got out of school. There's a little back into their school there. They were playing, and I went and asked the girls, because they saw it. And I said, do you speak English? And a little bit. What did they say, They said, shame on you for walking a cat. I looked at the girls. I went, a cat? And they, yeah. I said, this is a dog. Rough. They didn't even know it was a dog. I'm like, wow, the vet is really right. But see, they don't really have cats as pets, okay? And I'm just telling you what they've told me. I mean, I know over here, people have cats as pets all the time, but over there, it's not a big thing like that. So day one, right off the bat, check. Okay, I thought, now Lord, if this is going to how you're going to use Nugget, which that's her name, by the way, Nugget, it's going to be a long 90 days. But it wasn't. Hey, and don't you like the purple lipstick kind of stuff? My girlfriend and I, she brought it. We just decided that maybe that is what I needed, is just to have fun with this video. And so, there you go, purple lipstick. Okay. All right. We also got there, as I read in Leviticus, we arrived on day 2 of their celebration of the Festival of Tabernacles, or Sukkot. Everywhere you went, they had, I called them little huts, you know, because at first I didn't know what was going on, little huts. And yes, they had to get palm branches and willow tree branches, and there was lots of things they used to make these huts. And on day 1 and day 8, they are to do no work. The whole country shuts down. They are to eat and fellowship and thank the Lord, you know, for their bounty and just for what he's done. And okay, so it was pretty cool to see the Bible come alive like that. All right, we were walking, and this was not in the old city. This was actually away from the old city, and there was this huge, beautiful tent. Now, I guess this, I really don't know who was putting it on, but it looked like an organization, a Jewish organization putting this on, and they were celebrating Sukkot. They were celebrating this, and they invited us in. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we went, I mean, they had music, they had food, they had games, they, you know, just a really cool festival that we got to be a part of. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. We're going to get to ask them questions, and they can ask us questions. And no. It was about the dog. The dog. The kids wanted to play with the dog. So, okay. We sat down. They had some, like, even though it was grass, they had some like carpeted areas laid down. And we sat there and let those kids play. She was such a good dog, such a good dog. And those kids just played with her, loved on her. It was amazing. And yes, I did get to talk to some of the ladies, you know, there and ask them about the festival. I did get to do that, but it was mainly about the dog. All right, so we had to say our goodbyes there, and we went on. This happened, golly jeepers, on a daily basis. This next part would happen. We would have cars stop us. We would have, excuse me, families stop us all the time and offer us shekels for the dog. Shekels for one. We were walking alongside a busy road. Okay, busy road. Just minding our business, going to the old city. And all of a sudden, this car pulls up beside us with Jewish men in it, because I can tell by what they're wearing. And they said, 1,000 shekels for the dog, 1,000 shekels. And I'm like, and off they went. I'm like, I cannot believe this. So, you know, some just wanted to play with Nugget, and some did offer to buy her and that kind of stuff. And let me tell you something about, Richard was with me. See, those Jewish men wouldn't have talked to me if it would have been me walking the dog by myself. That goes with Muslim men also. They would not approach me as a female, you know, that wasn't Jewish or wasn't Muslim. The man would not come up and talk to me. Now, he would come up and talk to Richard, which is why a lot of them did. But I'll tell you a neat thing that just choked me up. We were walking, I don't remember where we were walking. I mean, it was right outside the old city, but I can't remember which gate. But anyway, we were walking along. And this Muslim family was walking towards us. Okay? I mean, that happens every day. Well, all of a sudden I saw the 2 little girls, like, ask their dad something. And then their dad came to Richard, wanted to know if the girls could play with the dog. So, oh yes, come and play. You know, I mean, this dog opened doors, I'm telling you, for us to love on people, for us to share with people, for them to know that, I mean, yes, I want them to know Jesus. But sometimes you just got to open that door, and you got to let them see Jesus in action. Let them feel, let them hear Jesus. Okay, so sometimes it just starts with that. And little Nugget brought it. Oh my gosh. Hey, if God can use a donkey, he can use a chihuahua. And he did. That girl, oh, here's going to be a good one. You guys are going to just, this really did happen. Okay. So one day, I was gone, but Richard Nugget was with Richard. He took her out. And the houses there are very, very close together. Well, a few houses down, and it was a pretty tall house, I remember that, but it had a big, like, gate. So, and the door part of the gate you could see through, so you could see the house, but then the rest of it was this big gate. But some security guards approached Richard. You know, and right off the bat, he's thinking, oh my gosh, all I'm doing is walking my dog. But the security guards asked if Richard had a minute. I mean, they didn't know his name, but they asked him if he had a minute. He said, sure, what do you need? And they said that this movie star, which I'm sorry, I tried to find my journal with her name in it. I will find it, and one of these days I'll put the link to it. But evidently she was in that house because they were shooting a movie scene right by us, and she saw Nugget. Yeah, Richard and I really didn't do a whole lot. We just walked around with the dog. The dog did it all. No, but she saw Nugget. So he's like, sure. Well, we didn't know she was an animal activist. You know, she explained all that kind of stuff. And so Richard just asked, you know, what are you guys doing? I mean, because there was equipment everywhere. She had a couple bodyguards. I mean, it was craziness. You know, we just don't see that every day. But she called her Nuggy. So the next day, they were shooting a scene that was right past our apartment. I mean, we could see through the windows, plain as day, what was going on. And the scene that they were shooting, because this movie was about two young Jewish people that were engaged, and this was her wedding day, the part that they were shooting. So in here, there was going to be a procession that they do with music and, you know, certain things that they do as she's coming down, I don't know, to go meet her groom, something. But it was right for, so Richard had Nugget, and after I guess they shot the scene, then he went outside and she saw Nugget. She stopped the whole thing. Cut, whatever you do, she stopped the whole thing. Came running over to, Nuggy, and she held Nugget and just loved on her, and, you know, once again, God uses a 5-pound chihuahua. So then the next day, I got to see the whole experience because they were shooting, I guess, the same sort of scene, but then adding it or something. But they told us to, you know, step away from the windows when they are shooting this. But I did get to open the door a little bit because I wanted to hear it. I wanted to see it, and I did. And it was so much fun. And then, yes, she saw Nugget after that. So it was fun. It was so many people. When we went to Shabbat services, you know, Friday evening, and we were helping them cook and prepare and then do the service, there is one sweet lady that loved Nugget. Now, they were all from Kansas City, so she had seen small dogs all the time, right? But she fell in love with Nugget. And Nugget being older, she didn't really want to get down on the floor and play all the time. So Marie holding her was fantastic. Once again, we just brought Nugget to the services. They really didn't give a rip about us. No, I'm just kidding. They did. But Nugget was used by so many people. We even took her to the King of Kings services. Now this is more uptown, the opposite way than Old City, but King of Kings is this, the one that we went to is a Messianic service. So Jewish believers that believe in Jesus, they would put on this service for us. And I had a purple little carrier for her, and I would tuck her in it, and she was such a good dog. I put her on the floor by my feet. She didn't make a peep the whole time. She didn't need me to hold her. I even went down front and was signing and just worshiping. She didn't make a peep. Didn't make a peep. Didn't make a peep. It was so much fun. I mean, she's in heaven now, but while she was here, if there's any of you, whether you're in Jerusalem or U.S. side of things, that if you ever got to experience Nugget, you know, playing with her, holding her, and drop a message, because she is a good dog. I mean, 19 years is a long time, so she got to see and play with a lot of people. But I just wanted to tell you this story and share this with you, and just know that God loves you and He wants to use you. You have purpose. He gave you talent, something that you are just, it comes easy to you. I don't care if it's sewing, to singing, to being a prayer warrior, but whatever talent it is, ask Him to use that, show you how to use it, and then do it. If God can use a donkey and a chihuahua, He can sure use us. All right? Be blessed. Take care.